Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video, as you guys can already tell by the title, is something that I wasn't sure of sharing. You guys might be noticing me with these glasses. They're not for show. These are actual glasses, prescribed glasses. I will leave the link or the name of the place that I got them down below. Okay, so practically what my purpose was for this video was to get and reach out to those people that have daddy issues. I really cannot know and say if I do have daddy issues. I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do, but I don't really necessarily like this is the first time I have ever accepted it. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a background about my dad, not too much, and I am also going to give you guys my experience with him, not so much like my mom's or my brother's. It's personally like me, what I felt, what I saw, when I noticed, and what I think now. And how did that affect me? And yeah, that's pretty much what this video is going to be about. So my dad, his name is not going to be said. What is going to be said is his last name is Diaz, because that's my last name, but I'm not going to necessarily say his name. So my dad has, let me get this right, 3 brothers, so with including him are 4 boys, and I'm pretty sure around 6 or 7 girls. I can't really, I'm gonna just take so long figuring that out. 6 to 7 girls for sure. And he is around the middle, in the middle of all the siblings. And what I would see, or what I heard a couple times, or I could, tell, was that my dad was my grandma's, not favorite, but maybe one of her favorites. You could tell by the way that she stuck out for him, she saw him. My dad was very mama's man. I could see it. I could really see that. And she would come here and there. And my dad, before that, again, as of what I can remember, when I turned 5, my dad was amazing. From when I was born to 5 years, I remember him paying attention to me, being there, being like an angel. My mom tells me, I slept with my dad till I was 5. A little over 5. I wanted him to help me get whatever I needed, for him to help me get on a bicycle, for him to help me or take me to school. I was a lot involved with my dad, and sometimes I do recall saying that my dad was my favorite, and I'm not gonna go too off on that, but now that has totally changed. And it changed a long time ago, but at that point he was my favorite, and I did tell everyone that my dad was my favorite. So my mom got pregnant and she had my brother. Again, I'm not gonna really go off on if that really happened or how my brother felt or what he thinks now, because it's not mine to tell. What I did notice, me personally, was that my dad was not with him the way he was with me. My dad, I noticed that it wasn't the same. He wasn't the same. I could tell, I just comparison to my dad didn't teach my brother how to use a bike. My dad, just stuff like that. It was a lot that my mom would do over my brother. And some people say, oh, the girl is more attached to the dad and the boy is more attached to the mom. I really, really think that, like me, my dad pushed my brother towards my mom. Like my dad literally, with his actions, literally like go over there, kind of. Like I don't think it was a choice for my brother to, you know, and then again, I maybe feel like my mom gave more of her because she noticed that as well. But I don't know, that's just the way I think it was, because even with me, my mom kind of, she didn't push me away, but she kind of toned me down to give more attention to my brother. But again, this is what I think. So that was kind of the overview when we were small. I did notice that, like I said, my dad wasn't the same with my brother, but my dad wasn't the same at all. My dad he wouldn't come home early, or at least when I was up. He would not cook anymore. And I'm not saying he had to, but I'm just saying I was so used to him like making his wings, making like burgers, like being like really happy, and my dad kind of just wasn't my dad, and he just was not the same. So I did notice that. I got to a point where my parents would argue, not in front of us, but at this point I'm like 11, 12, I can tell. I notice the vibe, I notice the tension, and at that moment I did have my two brothers. They are my cousins by blood, but I do call them brothers because they were with me my entire life. And they deserve credit. So were always with me. They would always make me laugh. I remember them playing around with me and just making it better. And obviously they would make it better, like distracting my dad sometimes, like if he was getting too annoying or whatever. I don't know, they were just really great, and I thank them a lot for making it better, because I don't think they noticed, or they might have, but I don't think they noticed how severe it was, like to the point where I could tell, to the point where sometimes I would wish, like, can these two just like split? Like sometimes I would be there sitting, guys, and I would just be like I don't know why kids that have parents that split are miserable. Like I just wish mine could just like do their own thing so I can have some peace, so I don't have to stress about this. And like people don't notice that, like maybe I take things a different way, and if you've had in your household tension and then they break up and you're like, oh my god, it's not the same, I'm gonna have two homes, my parents are gonna find other people and then I'm not gonna like them. I can't relate, which is weird, because I was literally like someone just come and like give someone a home, and like literally just like it was to that point where I literally wished separation between my parents, which is crazy. I did get a little older and I noticed way more that my dad was addicted to alcohol and other things, but alcohol. And I did get into that anger. At this point, I was angry. At first, I would try to find a solution, like 12, like not even a solution, like an excuse, like maybe he's tired, maybe this, like maybe he comes home off of work and he's tired, or maybe we're being too loud, or just stuff. Like I would just find an excuse for him. First of all, sometimes not being present. Second of all, sometimes being present but not physically there, like mentally, like the body was just there. And third of all, sometimes I would find an explanation of my mom being so rude, or my mom being so tough on him, just stuff like that. And then when I got older, I kind of just got mad at both. I just kind of, mostly at my dad, but both. At this point, I knew that it was in a condition, actually, and like there's a condition to this. Like at first I thought like maybe yeah, at the beginning it was a choice, but at this point it was like a necessity for him. And yeah, it was really hard and I was mad, and there was a situation that I really remember like so much, which was that one day I remember him coming home. I did hear a little bit of like an argument. Mind you, my bed is right next to the wall connected to the room, so I could hear clearly, but I mean not too much. And then I hear door closed, and then somebody like moving in the kitchen, which was my dad, and then somebody coming into my room, and he sits in my bed, and I feel somebody just like moving me and poking me. At this time it's like 12, and he's like, mija, quiero hablar contigo, blah, 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 blah. Like he just wanted, at this point my dad was out and he wanted somebody to talk to. My mom did not want to do anything with it. She pretty much told him to like get out of the room. So he ran to me to make conversation. Just literally like about his day, like he just wanted to talk and he didn't want to just be there by himself. And I was just like, Dad, I have school, and like I just would fall asleep, but I would hear something, and then like he would wake me up. Are you listening to me? ¿Me estás escuchando? And I would be like, Dad, I'm going to school tomorrow. Like at this point, I'm that child that just wants to go to school because she doesn't want to be home. And he was like, blah, 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 and I fell asleep again, and then he woke me up, and at this point, guys, I lost it. Like I literally completely, I saw red, and that was out. Like that was it. Like I was out. Like there was no vision whatsoever. I just remember the anger, and I literally got up, and I was like, I'm literally closing my eyes because I'm trying to like really get what I said. I was like, can you not understand that I'm trying to go to sleep? Like I'm trying to go to school. Like just screaming. And then I hear like my brother kind of waking up, my little brother. And then I don't think Hugo or Beto were home. I think one of them was home, because then they walked in, they're like, hey Theo, come over here, blah blah. I think one of them was home. Actually no, nobody was home. My mom came in and she was like, hey, get out of here. She has school tomorrow. She's literally crying. Why are you like bugging her? What the heck is wrong with you? She's like, what is wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. Like they just start going at it, and my mom's trying to get him out of the room. Obviously, she doesn't like to like argue in front of my dad, in front of us with my dad. So she like tries to get him out, and then I'm literally like crying. I'm angry, and I sit there, and my brother went back to sleep, and I'm just sitting there, and they close the door, and I could hear them like in the living room just like going at it. My dad like, I want somebody to talk to. You don't listen to me, blah blah blah. And at that point I was like, okay, like I'm pretty much not gonna go to sleep in like 5 minutes. That's how I was. Like I was so mad. Like I was like there's no possible way I'm gonna get my rest. Like it's 12, I'm gonna wake up mad. I'm not gonna have time to go freaking get my hair done. I'm not gonna have time to freaking shower. I'm just gonna wake up bien mugrosa just to go to school. Then I'm gonna get make fun of because I didn't plan my outfit, and then I'm not gonna pack my backpack because I would always pack my backpack during school. I'm not even gonna get my breakfast. I'm like, at this point, like I'm done. So I get up, I go to the living room, and I grab my dad, and I'm like, can you get out of my house? Guys, at this point, like my mom was so thrown off that she has to sit down. My mom suffers of high blood pressure, so whenever she does get nervous, or she gets bad news, or she's just like whenever she just doesn't, like something's going on and she's scared or she's just overwhelmed, she literally gets like it turns like into a big claw in her head, and she could faint. She's fainted on us. She's like kind of like can't get up, but she's conscious, or she's just like she can't take it, the head problem. I think it's like a pain or something. She really can't describe it at that moment because she's kind of like trying to fight it. So she's gone to the ER because of that. So at this point, my mom is literally at, like, she literally went back, like sat down in the couch. And at this point, I didn't really get alarmed by it because I was so mad. I'm telling you guys, I just saw red. Like I was like I can't. Like at this point, there's no going back. So I grabbed my dad. I'm like, get out of my house. And I said it like 10 times. And like he wouldn't listen. He kind of like just moved me to the side, like Jeanette, and he was like, go to sleep. Like he was just like, go to sleep. And I was like, I opened the door, and at this point I was like, get out. Like I said, get out. And at this point, it wasn't like screaming, it was like screaming, like the top level of, you know, when they scream so loud, you're like, whoa, like this girl's crazy. Like I literally felt like a maniac, like that crazy. And he noticed that I opened the door. I don't know if he was gonna get embarrassed because of the neighbors, or I don't know at this point it shocked him as well, but my dad did get up and leave the house, which is one of the things I really regret, because as much as your parents are arguing, or as much as your dad is in trouble or with a disease, you should never kick somebody that's provided you food out of their house. That's not acceptable. Like that's one of the things that I've ever, like I will forever be disappointed in. Like that was a no. Like if Rafita ever did that to me, guys, I would literally like, damn, like I don't know what I would do. Like, and I really wish that he never, like no one ever does that, because I literally, that's one of the things that's made me feel like crap. Like, damn, like I went that low to do that. But again, I was like 15, and I was, no, actually I was like 13, turning 14. So I did do that, and then I started crying because obviously right away I felt like crap. Like I was like, I literally felt so bad. I started crying, and then I kind of like get myself together, and I look, and I'm like, oh crap, my mom, like she literally was getting that. Like she couldn't take off I just remember her trying to take off her ponytail, and I was like, oh crap. At this moment, it was me, my brother, my mom, home alone, and she was getting that thing. So I literally dialed my mom's older sister that lives here. She's the only sister she has here. And thankfully we live so close, and I called her. It was so late. I felt so like bad. I'm like, Tia, my mom, like this happened, like can you please come, blah blah blah. I called her, she came, and she literally slept with my mom. Like they slept together because my mom, it was really bad. This is one of the stories that I don't think my mom's ever shared. I don't think I've ever shared, but this had to do a lot more with me than with my mom. And I feel so bad with my dad, with my mom, with my brother, with like everyone, my tia, like in general. Like I'm just sharing this story because I want people to know that you guys aren't the only ones. Like if you guys have that parent that doesn't have their together or whatever, or that literally is addicted to something, or literally isn't around, or literally left, like I know there's a lot more people that have it harder on them, and I feel for you, but I just wanted to share my story. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. You guys are not alone. A couple months after that, my dad did get deported. I'm not gonna say why or how. He did get deported. I was around 14. So that really affected me and my brother, just because that was, I don't know, I feel like we really needed him those years after, like 14 to 16. We really needed him. We still do. My brother mostly really does. My mom, thankfully, like, I love her. Like, she did everything for me. Like, I did after that find a boyfriend. The relationship was toxic. I did get pregnant off of this relationship. And if you guys want more on that, that's a totally different story. Because with that, it's so weird, but with that toxic story, I did go through some stuff that I've never told anyone. My mom, Eddie, my ex relationship, no one. Like, this is a secret that no one knows, like, literally. Actually, no, my old relationship didn't know this. But that's why I let it be so toxic, because they were supporting me, or like not supporting me, but like being there for me. I did after this do a lot of self-harm to myself that now I totally like, I'm like, why would I do that? I did do self-harm on myself a couple times. And then with the relationship, I got pregnant, and then I did have my 15. My mom literally pulled everything together to make me a 15. If you guys know, in the Latina, what is it? Is it tradition? I don't know if it's a tradition or if it's just a costumbre. I don't know how to say that in English, but they do 15s for Hispanic girls that turned a year of age to be mature, to be a woman. So my mom did do that for me, and I thank her so much. I loved it. So then my baby passed away, right? A lot of things just happened. Like, the only good thing that happened in between, like I said, is my 15. My brother, he just didn't have, like, my brother, I noticed, again, I'm not going to speak for my brother, but I'm just saying what I noticed is that my brother is not comfortable, like in a way he kind of like lost himself. I don't know, guys. I'm just kind of mumbling at this point, but having a parent that has had an addiction, that has not been around, and now that he's completely not around, is really harmful, especially when you build up relationships. Like, that's one of the things I told Eddie. Like, sometimes I make him shower him, or I make him, like, just little stuff like that, like pumpkin patch. Like, sometimes he'll be like, you go with him. No, you have to go. Like, I want Rafita to not go with what I went through. Like, oh, like us having to ask people to bring us to the groceries because my dad was never there. He never had time. And if he did, it was not a good drive, because obviously you can't drive, you know, like, just stuff like that. And it was just really hard. I do have a lot more stories about my dad, but I don't wish to share them just because I don't want it to go bad on him. And I love my dad. I love him so much. You never stop loving your parents. I love him with all my heart. But it has done damage, and maybe he has had damage, and I can't really help him, and he can't really help me anymore. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you guys, we've all been through it. Me and my brother, day by day, we're building ourselves in a better way, our families in a better way. And yeah, and my mom, like, I'm not gonna say that my dad never did good to her, but my mom is such an independent, hardworking, beautiful, happy lady. Like, since I'm not gonna put it like, but I mean, after Aaron, like, she never really has had those head problems or those high blood pressure problems with Aaron, because he passed away. But like, ever since my dad, there hasn't been any issue, and she's just so free. She doesn't argue. Like, she just gets home, she does her thing, and maybe sometimes she gets lonely, But I know she'll find someone, and if it gets to be my dad again, then that would be really great. And if it's not, then she doesn't have to worry, because I get her. I completely understand. And not saying that nobody deserves my dad, but my dad deserves someone. And we have actually, I do also want to put this on the video, because some people might take this like, oh, why didn't you guys ever help him? Or we did. My uncles, aunts, and mom, everyone tried. He just, AA didn't work. Nothing worked. Like literally nothing worked or has worked, because till this day there is still an addiction, and it might not be as bad as it was back then, because now he has stabilized and he has a job and he has a home, but there is still something there. And at the point where he was here, it was really bad. Like I said, my story in my life has been so crazy that if I put it in one video, you guys would be like, damn, this is a horror movie. But yeah, I just wanted to mention a couple things. And also I mentioned in the beginning that, how do I feel now? So fight for the people that you love. Like saying, I should have fought harder for my dad. Even right now, I should be helping him in some way, like finding a resource or something. Never stop. That's another thing. Never stop helping them. Like how it's affected me. It's affected me so bad. Like I feel like that was the seed of everything that has happened to me. Like my dad. And not to blame him or be like pointing fingers like you ruined my life. No. I'm just saying that like ever since that point of like the fighting and stuff, like my world just, and then at a point like a year after Aaron passed away, I met Eddie, and you know, like now it's kind of still, but there's still a little tornado, because my dad and my relationship is at its worst, which is the craziest thing. He's in Mexico. He doesn't really call. I don't really call. We don't really talk. Like I don't know where my dad's at. You know, like it's sad to be like, I don't know where my dad is. I don't know how he's doing. And the same thing for him. Like maybe he has been told by family members, oh, she's fine. But if it weren't for them, like, would he really know what's going on with me? I just hope that you guys do get a lot of information out of my story. It is scary to share it, I'm not gonna lie. I know most of you guys watch my videos are relatives or friends or people who see me from day-to-day basis, and you're like, damn, like she shares too much of her damn story. But you guys will get it. Like I feel like if I can help somebody with what I've been through, that's great. I know that I'm not the only one that's had a dad with an addiction, that you literally have to feel like you are the parent. I know I'm not the only one that doesn't have their dad around, that sometimes you're like in a birthday, like, damn, like I wish he was here. I wish he made like some wings that he used to, or damn, I wish that my dad would, I don't know, take me on a boat ride when he had the boat, or damn, I wish my dad was here to like be at parties and I could be like, oh yeah, like blah blah blah. Like I see my aunts and uncles at my dad's family party and I'm like, how did I get here? You know, because my dad's not there. Like I just feel like a weirdo, like boop, like just this person at the family party, like, you know what I mean? I understand where you guys are coming from. One last message to my dad is, I love you, Dad. Te quiero mucho. Cuídate, and we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. My dad himself is wonderful. Whoever knows, I was about to say his name. You guys will know that he is the funniest guy. He gives you money for Halloween. He literally like makes everyone laugh. And he's just like so hyperactive, and he's the best dancer ever. So just like that, like my dad is wonderful his own way. This story does really not have to make that person be a monster. You guys I'm pretty sure that whatever parent you guys have that's absent or whatever, they have their own good thing, their own bad thing, like as how we all do. Again, sorry, ending today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Leave the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.